5 watch brands you need to watch in 2025. Now, let's be real. The same 5 watch brands get all the love. You'll be talking about Rolex, Omega, Patek, AP. But what about the brands that are quietly killing it right now? The ones that are putting out fresh designs, actually daring fresh designs, experimenting with movements and building real momentum. In this video, I'm sharing 5 watch brands you absolutely need to watch in 2025. Some are rising stars, some are heritage brands leveling up, but all of them are shaping the future of watch collecting. Before I get into it, let me introduce myself. I'm Jag from Jag's Watches. This is a watch channel that does not take itself too seriously. I'm a watch enthusiast, not an expert. And so if you enjoy watching watch-related content, then make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. I appreciate every single one of you. So let's start off with the first watch brand that I think are absolutely killing it right now. It's Studio Underdog. I call it the Playful Disruptor. It's a UK-based brand, which I think took the watch world by surprise. Known for its bold, quirky designs like the chronograph watermelon. Yes, a mechanical chronograph themed after a fruit. They carried on with this theme with other watches such as the Mint Choc Chip and the Goofy Panda. The Goofy Panda for me is a personal favorite. I'm a little boring. I don't like outlandish looking watches, although I can appreciate other versions of this watch like the salmon variant that they have got out there, which is a little bit more expensive, I think over £1,000, but otherwise these watches are sub £1,000. It's not just the novelty either. I think they're solid movements with the Seagull ST1901 hand wound movement with a domed sapphire crystal and solid finishing essentially. I think they make watches that are fun, expressive and weirdly collectible because of their price point without feeling gimmicky. 100% originality. They have a couple of different great models on offer. Definitely go check them out if you haven't already. This is not a video that has been sponsored by them, by the way. I'm just a fan of their watches. The one thing I would love to see from Studio Underdog in the future is the ability to just go onto their website and buy a watch and get it the next day. Unfortunately, right now, they order in batches, and I guess their capability maybe to manufacture high quantities of watches isn't quite there just yet, or it may well be a marketing strategy, which is very clever as well. So the first brand is Studio Underdog. Moving on very quickly to another micro brand, Baltic. I think this is retro done correctly. Based in France, known for their clean, classically inspired designs like the Bi-Compax 002 or the Aquascaf, or another favorite, which is the MRO2. Now, excellent case finishing with these watches, Hezolite or sapphire domed crystals with Miyota or Sellita movements, so solid workhorse movements that we know are reliable and easily, I guess, serviced. My favorite watch though from this brand is a recent limited edition. Not hugely fond of limited editions, however, this is one that I genuinely really like. I love the aesthetic, the blue dial, just the general vintage aesthetic of this watch is beautiful, especially on that bracelet. It's the SCALEGRAPH Tour Auto 2025 limited edition. This watch celebrates vintage rally timing with a race-inspired aesthetic and mechanical chronograph layout and that unmistakable Baltic vibe. It's rare, collectible, and shows how Baltic is growing into a full-on enthusiast brand, and I do see that happening. So definitely a brand to keep an eye on. And I think they're mastering the art of making retro feel relevant, and they're doing it under £1,000. I love that. Moving on to the third brand, which is a brand we all know of, Longines. It's the heritage brand, which I feel has leveled up. A brand that has been around since 1832, but recently they've completely rebranded themselves to a certain extent. Big releases like the Spirit Zulu Time 1925, which I've covered on the channel before with that beautiful rose gold bezel. A 39mm rose gold GMT celebrating 100 years of the original Zulu Time watch. It's COSC certified, has an independent GMT hand, and finally, a luxury piece that is ready to compete. I think they are genuinely going to level up. I think it's a brand that we need to keep an eye on, especially with their partnerships, with their releases. The Zulu Time, especially the GMT with there's a titanium version with the black and grey bezel, but also a blue bezel. I think it's just a great value proposition. And I know a lot of you in the comments have made me aware they've been doing this for a long time, but now people I think are starting to notice because they're getting their marketing right. With Henry Cavill being a face of the brand, They're refining their story, heritage without nostalgia, and luxury without pretension. Definitely a great brand that we need to keep an eye on going forward. They're proving you don't need to spend £10,000 to get design, history, and legitimacy all in one watch. Now, moving on to the fourth brand, Christopher Ward. I call this micro brand Muscle. Can we really call Christopher Ward a micro brand? I don't know. I've talked about this brand a lot. The first brand to send out a watch to the channel, so big up to Christopher Ward. And they're on a roll, in my opinion. British design, Swiss made, transparent pricing, serious R&D. The 12 in their integrated bracelet range is a hit, offering royal oak vibes at an insane price point. Or sane price point, I should say. And the bel canto, a chiming complication, put them on the horology radar. You know, in-house movements, investing serious amounts of money in those in-house movements show that I think Christopher Ward are looking to move to that next level. And I think they already have. I can't really call them a micro brand anymore. But I think what's really sealed this for me recently is the C12 Loco. A new colorway that proves the 12 platform isn't just a trend. A beautifully newly designed movement with that beautiful case back. It's got long-term design language. I think futuristic design language. They're making complicated, original watches for people who actually wear their watches. And I think people are starting to really appreciate what Christopher Ward are doing. And more importantly, the price point on which they're actually delivering these watches at. Moving on to the fifth brand now in the list, and the final brand. A brand which recently I was exposed to, Furlan Marri. Last but not least, Furlan Marri, a brand that launched on Kickstarter in 2021 and is now the indie darling of the scene. Started with Mecha Quartz watches, but now moving into full Swiss mechanical movements. The cases are incredibly detailed. Think vintage, teardrop lugs, domed crystals, and multi-scale dials. And the collab with Dominique Renaud proves they are serious about legitimacy, and I think they're trying to move to that next level. Their releases sell out fast and the collector base is passionate. This is a brand with momentum. Definitely a brand to keep an eye on in 2025. Building a real design identity with future potential and a great build quality and great value for money. So final thoughts on these 5 brands. They're showing us what modern watchmaking can be. Playful, well-engineered, design-led, and actually fun to follow, but more importantly, actually affordable. I think a lot of the brands that I talk about that I'm excited about are just unaffordable. And it's just great to see these brands thriving, doing well, and allowing the consumer to have fun with their purchases without burning a hole in their pockets in doing so. Whether you're just starting your collection or looking for something beyond the hype, these are the ones I'd bet on in 2025. So let me know in the comments if you're a fan of any of these brands, which ones in particular, and more importantly, if I've missed a brand in 2025 that you feel should have been in this top 5 list. As usual, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. I've been Jag from Jags Watches. Remember, timing is everything, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.